When the first season of MASH appeared in 1972, this actor played a memorable role as sort of like a mafia don in Seoul who basically was trying to scam Henry Blake out of his antique desk. And the timing of this guy was great. Eventually showed up on Barney Miller, and his character, basically every scene he was in, he made it better. Probably one of the best slow burn comedians of the 1970s. We all miss him, and were not for an unfortunate passing at age 61, he would have done the same thing well into the 80s. Probably would have had his own TV show. Might have showed up on WKRP because the spirit of Jack Soo is in Barney Miller, and Barney Miller is the spirit of Barney Miller is in WKRP, like the ensemble cast. Now, Jack Soo, born Goro Suzuki, October 28, 1917, at sea. He was born on the Pacific Ocean. Was an American actor and singer. He's best known, of course, for his role of Detective Nick Yemana on the TV sitcom Barney Miller. Now, born Goro Suzuki on a ship traveling the Pacific Ocean from the States to Japan on October 28, 17, his parents live in Oakland. They decided that he was the oldest boy. They wanted him to have him born in Japan. He graduated from University of California, Berkeley with a degree in English. He lived in Oakland until ordered and internment along with other Japanese Americans during World War II and the signing of Executive Order 9066. He was sent to the Topaz War Relocation Center in Utah. His fellow internees recall him as a camp favorite, an entertainer singing at dances and numerous events. Now, his career as an entertainer began in earnest at the end of the war, first as a stand-up comedian, performing primarily in the Midwest U.S. He changed his name to Jack Soo while working at a Chinese nightclub called Chin's in Cleveland to avoid prejudice against him as a Japanese American. During the years playing the nightclub circuit, he met and became friends with future Barney Miller producer Danny Arnold, who was also a performer at the time. Now, he earned his big break in 1958 when he was cast in a Broadway musical hit Flower Drum Song in the role of the show's master of ceremonies and comedian Frankie Wing, gliding through my memory. He was working in San Fran at the Forbidden City, a Chinese nightclub and cabaret, where he was discovered by the dancer director of Flower Drum Song, Gene Kelly. He was offered a chance to go to Broadway on the condition that he change his name to something Chinese, as Flower Drum Song is set in San Francisco, Chinatown. At that time, he adopted a surname they had used to leave the internment camp at Topaz, Soo. Soo switched to the Sammy Fong role. Chinatown's Nathan Detroit during the run and played the role when the film version of the musical was made. Now, Soo was first broadcast across America by Jack Benny on November 27, 62, as a tough-talking, streetwise talent agent in Jack Meets Japanese Agent. In 64, he played a weekly supporting role as Rocky Sin, a poker-playing con artist in Valentine's Day, a comedy TV series starring Anthony Francioso that lasted one season. During the next decade, he appeared in films such as The Green Berets as the colonel of the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, in the 1967 musical Thoroughly Modern Millie, and of course as guest appearances on Hawaii Five-O, The Odd Couple, and 2 episodes of MASH. The second episode, he played a completely different character. All I can say, it has to do with pearls. Now, when Soo joined Motown in 65 as one of the first non-African American artists, during his time there, he recorded a show battle version of For Once in My Life as the first male singer to do so. The record was never released and was shelved in the Motown archives. The song was soon after made famous by Stevie Wonder. Soo was cast in his most memorable role in 75 on the ABC sitcom Barney Miller as a laid-back but very wry Detective Nick Yemana, who was responsible for making a dreadful coffee that, one of the series' running jokes, his fellow detectives had to drink every day. Of course, he was in the famous episode where the guy who thought he was going to turn to a werewolf at midnight, Bernie! Oh, Bernie! Probably one of the greatest comedy episodes of the 1970s. Now, occasionally his character played against stereotypes of Asian Americans by emphasizing Yamana's solidly American background. Soo also refused to perform roles who were demeaning to Asian Americans. He often spoke out against negative ethnic portrayals and was adamant about being a person who was seen as an American. Now, Soo was married to Jan Zidlar, a model in 45. The couple had 3 children, Jane, Richard, and James. Unfortunately, Sue, who was a heavy smoker, was diagnosed with esophageal cancer during Barney Miller's fourth season, 77-78, missing the last 5 episodes. He returned for the opening of season 5, but the cancer spread quickly, and Sue died on January 11th at age 61 at the University of California at Los Angeles Medical Center, now the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. His last appearance on the show was in the episode titled The Vandal, which aired on November 9th, 78. Delivering the episode's final line, "I have nothing to add." A running joke in the show that Yemana made bad coffee. It must have been my coffee, Sue joked when he was wheeled into surgery. A retrospective episode showing clips of Sue aired on the last episode of season 5. The episode included castmates as themselves, giving personal memories of Sue the actor. It concluded with all raising their coffee cups in a final farewell toast to him. Now, what Jack Soo basically did, we never looked at him as Oriental. We never looked at him as American. We looked at him as what the hell am I doing here? I'm here to do a job and all the freakiness. But Barney Miller, not to say it was like, a Broadway comedy, but a lot of Broadway actors and actresses showed up on the show. Abe Vigoda was there, Max Gale, Hal Linden. But Jack Soo, I mean, there's not a day goes by from the time I heard of his passing to today that I not say think about him, but I say to myself, what could he have done? An extra decade, can you imagine? Like Three's Company, Growing Pains, a great guest star, Love Boat. But Jack Soo, and he was like I said, a very underrated comedic actor. His timing was perfect, and I think the biggest compliment I ever got. My dad once said he's like the Oriental Mel Brooks. I said, Dad, what do you mean? Well, okay, he's funnier, Mel Brooks. So when he came on, you knew something was going to happen. It was like not sarcastic, but it was like what I call realism comedy. So filmography on the movies: Forward to Drum Song, 61. Who's Been Sleeping in My Bed, 63. The Bomb, the Oscar, playing Sam. Thirdly, Modern Middle, he played Ching Ho, or Oriental number 1. Green Berets in 68. And Return from Witch Mountain, where he played Yo-Yo Yokomoda, which is, of course, a Disney movie. Jack Benny in 62. Valentine's Day, main cast, 34 episodes, playing Rocky Sin. Wacky Ship in the Army, playing Shuru. Summer Fun, playing Sydney. Julia, the Diane Carroll show. Tree Man and Judge Warren Wakuza. In The Monk, he played the hip guy in that ABC TV movie. He played Sam Kwong in Y50, the one with the gun. Name of the Game, he played Sergeant George Kwan. Jimmy Stewart Show, he played Woodrow Yamada, partially reoccurring character. The Odd Couple, he played Chuck May Chin. In MASH, he played, of course, Charlie Lee, the illegal peddler, and Kwok, another illegal peddler. In She Lives, he played Dr. Osikawa. Ironside, he played Joey Lee in the Amy Prentice episode. And Police Story, played Bruce Chan in the Year of the Dragon episodes, as well as Taikeshi. Police Woman, he played Red Star. And Barney Miller, again, 101 episode, Detective Sergeant Nick Yemana. Now, the idea about Jack Soo, again, we saw his physical decline in the last episodes he was in, and it was hard to see because we knew he was sick, but my God, we didn't know he was that sick. So the Jack Soo is, again, his last words. Again, the Hal Linden has been wheeling operating before his death were, it must have been the coffee. Now, he also in the late 40s had a nightclub comedy act with Joey Bishop. So you see like kind of the Rat Pack aspect. Now, when he got out of the Army after World War II, again, he began a career as a singer. However, knowing that audiences would never accept him if he used his real Japanese name of Gori Suzuki, he changed it to Chinese-sounding Jack Soo and billed himself as the Chinese Bing Crosby. Now, according to his daughter, speaking on camera in the 2009 documentary You Don't Know Jack, the Jack Soo story, and if you can find it, look at it. His parents wanted him to be born in Japan, again, but was born on board a ship en route to Japan from Oakland. Now, cast as the former show MC and comedian, he moved up to the Sammy Fung role for the 61 film. Now, his children are Richard, James, and Jane, by his wife, Jan, a Croatian American former model. So a very, like I said, a very interesting family. I don't know many Croatian, Japanese kids, and now, according to Gary Bromberg, IMDb, he was a genial, laid-back, slumber-eyed character, played a special adept at a relaxed, wisecracker, dry comment characters. Now, again, Flower Drum Song. Nick Yemana was his main one. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Barney Miller, check it out. It's quite interesting because for a time when you watch it, you probably say to yourself, maybe there's what do you call a character of the episode. You pick one of the supporting characters to drive like the secondary plot of the episode. But Jack Soo, boys, I was too young to meet him, but if I ever had met him, I said thank you for being so funny. You made us all smile every day, and they're showing the MASH episodes on History Channel in Canada this month. And the first thing we remember again, so that's not the showroom, eh? Every time I think of what a desk, I think of Jack Soo, oak. You know what it is? It's oak. You know you're wrong. It's oak. Anyway, one-liner. So Jack Soo again, other than Pat Morita, probably one of the most interesting Oriental comedians of the modern era. Like I said, it's all up there on the screen. He was just a tremendous talent. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing, our vintage TV podcast, let us know what a like, comment, subscribe, or share.